Here we go. So, welcome. In today's practice, we will be thinking about the spring equinox, which is on Wednesday morning this week, which is the 20th of March at 3:06 a.m. So, let's begin by lying down as I talk you through the equinox. So, coming to lie down on your mat, knees are bent, and just rest the hands on your hip points or perhaps your tummy, but try not to let the fingers touch. So the spring equinox is celebrated in many traditions and cultures across the world as when the light returns. We've left the stagnant energy of winter and we move into the light of spring. And I am teaching a yoga retreat just after this. So if you're interested, do let me know and I can send you details about that. So the spring equinox is the day when night and day are equal. And it's very much about balance. So we're going to begin this practice today with a 3-minute meditation. And this meditation will be around samavriti, which is a balanced breath. So as you get yourself into a comfortable position, start to breathe in naturally through the nose. Exhale completely out through the nose if you can. In order to support you breathing in and out of the nose, just let the tongue roll up to the roof of the mouth. When we balance our breath, we balance our nervous system. So we're going to try now to even the breath. And the word samavriti means equal disturbance or equal fluctuation. So breathing in for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just continue this now in your own pattern, knowing, of course, that very soon the mind will start to drift. Can you bring it back to the breath? And there's a quote from Osho, your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds. You can plant flowers or you can plant weeds. So just noticing when thoughts come in, where are they taking you? Can you come back to the breath? So we have about a couple more minutes just to practice this now. Breathing in through the nose. Equal. Breathing out through the nose. Just notice, where is your mind right now? Has it gone to the weeds or to the flowers? Just bring it back. And as we move into our final minute, maybe we can lengthen the breath now as we start to slow our breathing down, noticing if there's a corresponding slowing down of the thoughts. Perhaps now you can breathe in for 6 and breathe out for 6. Just focus now on the next 2 breaths. And there we are, 3 minutes meditation. Sometimes that can seem a lot longer. Just notice how you feel. And sometimes that is enough for a daily practice. But we are here to work together. Let's start to move now. So thinking in spring is all about what we plant, what seeds are we plant. And we're just going to begin by thinking about our feet. So can you lift your right leg up towards the sky and start to circle the ankle? A few one way, then a few the other, and really, really spread the toes. And then hold on to the back of your right thigh now and see if you can move the right foot perhaps a little bit more towards your head. And press the thigh into the hand and then the hands back into the thighs to really activate the hamstrings there. So as you inhale, you press your thigh into the hands and the hands into the thigh. As you breathe out, you let go of any force and see if the leg moves a little bit more. Breathe in, activate the muscle. Breathe out, let it go. And now flex that right foot as you take it just below the left knee and then lift up your left thigh. So coming into supine pigeon. So the roots where we ground, that's our legs, our feet, just ever so slightly rock side to side. Go so slow that you really feel which part of the body is a little tighter. So this is not intuitive. Next time your knees come to the left, keep going until your right foot comes to the floor. So it's like a very strange twist. With your left hand, then press your right thigh away from you. And you might just get a little stretch there in the outer right hip. Keep breathing. Breathe it out. And then keeping the legs like this, we're going to bring them over to the left. So the right foot is resting on your left thigh, almost like a little weight. Sorry, bring the legs over to the right. I do apologize. And then just with your right foot, feel like you're guiding that left knee further away from you. And this is stretching what we call our IT band that can get quite inflamed sometimes. So breathing in and breathing out. So in seed, a time of planting seeds and flowers. But in order for them to flourish, we have to be grounded and rooted. So starting from the bottom up today, let's come all the way up and swap that over. Take the right foot down, take a moment to breathe, and then lift up the left leg. Start to circle your left ankle one way and then the other. And then press your thigh into the hands and the hands back into the thigh. So very much activating the muscles. Inhale, activate the muscles. Breathe out, let it go and see if you have more mobility there. Breathe in, activate. And release. Final time. And just explore the range of motion there and flex your left foot now as you take it just below the right knee. Once again, we feed our arms through that little gap. We draw that right thigh in and move about 1 centimetre to the left and then 1 centimetre to the right. See if you can find where your tight spots are. And there's no right answer to that, of course. We're just trying to be in the body, not the mind. Spring is all about creating new things. We can only do that in the present. Next time you move to the right, take that left foot with you, press it down, and then start to move your left knee away from you. And at some point, you'll encounter a tight spot. That's where we want to explore with breath. And then gently, gently bring the knees over to the other side, dropping them down there. So as the left knee comes down, the left foot is kind of almost lengthening your right thigh bone, femur. Breath or tea there. And let's come back and take those feet flat now as we start to lift up our hips. So as we breathe in, we're going to press into the feet and lift the hips, coming into some rolling bridges. As you exhale, you come back down again. And what you might do is add the arms here. So as you inhale, the arms come up and overhead. As you exhale, everything comes back down. And do that 2 or 3 times. Again, really feeling the feet, the roots. We need to be firmly established there before we can rise up and lift and open. Next time the hips are up, stay there, keeping the fingers up and overhead and just really deeply breathe. As you exhale, slowly unravel the spine and then bring the knees in towards your chest and almost make yourself this tiny little seed. So bring your head towards your knees and gently rock side to side. So in yoga, we have what we call seeds of intention, that we call sankalpa. So what is your intention for this next season? Now let's lengthen the legs and roll up to a comfortable seat. We won't be here for too long, but crisscross the shins. So always two opposing energies in yoga. We have the grounding, and that in this case is our hips and our feet, and the rising, the root to rise. So ground down the hips, the feet, and from there elongate the spine. And as you inhale, lift those arms up towards the sky, look towards your thumbs. As you exhale, circle the arms around. And just do that one more time, moving with breath. Inhale to rise. Inhale, we ground back down again. And take the right hand down now as we take the left arm up and over. And feel like you're washing away anything you don't need. So kind of like sort of swoop the arm around, almost like as if you're just doing a big circle around you. Kind of really move it, getting rid of anything old. And then after about 3 or 4 of those, just drift into stillness. So breathing all the way down the left side of the body. And we need the darkness of winter, of course. We can't have love and light all the time. So kind of welcome yourself wherever you are in your journey. And as you breathe in, lift all the way up again. Let's take a twist now. Left hand behind you, right hand across, and grow so tall as you inhale. And as you exhale, look over the left shoulder. Think of those two opposing qualities again. So we're grounding into the hips, rising up into the crown of the head. Feel the breath go in those two directions too. So breathing in. As we breathe out, crown to the roots. And let's swap over as we come forward now. Let's crisscross the shins in the opposite direction. Breathing in, fingers touch. This time we lean to the left. And as the right arm comes up, it's almost like we're just doing a really big circle. And of course, the spring equinox is on the wheel of the year. So just do a really big wheel. And that's the ancient calendar. The pagans, the Celtics, lots of ancient ancestors use. Let's pause now and breathe into the right side of the body. Softening the right shoulder. One more deep breath. And as you breathe in, lift yourself up by the fingertips and rotate into a twist. So the left hand rests in front. You're looking over your right shoulder now and you're breathing deeply. And just again, notice the energy going up and then the energy going back down again. And we always have to have both. And let's come forward and come onto all fours. So spreading your hands now as wide as you can under your shoulders. Make sure you're properly rooted. And we're going to come into cat and cow, but with more movement. So as you inhale, come into cow pose, the heart lifts. As you exhale, come into child's pose. Inhale, lift up into cow pose. Exhale, round into child's pose. So we're just doing this to regulate breath. We might add a down dog now. So inhale into cow pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees again, cow pose. Exhale, child's pose. So with breath, move between cat and cow, or the animal shapes where we add downward facing dog. But really slow the breathing down, because that's what slows our thinking down. So just moving into our body. And if not already, next time you're up, let's stay in down dog. Obviously, you can always stay on all fours if that's better for you. Press the floor away with your arms, feel your feet, feel that which grounds and roots you, and then just fix your gaze onto one thing. And then consciously deepen the breath. So spring is also a time of creating space. Let's think about that now in our body. As we breathe in, lift up the right leg. This is why we do spring cleaning. As we exhale, bring the right foot between the hands and drop your left knee. Breathing in, let's sweep those arms up overhead. Hold on to your left wrist and lean to the right. And now deeply breathe into the left lung. So just notice as you breathe all that space you're creating into your body. And as you breathe out, move into that space. Let's lift up now and take the left hand to the left hip and lean to the other side. So breathing in all the way down the right side. One more deep breath. Breathing in, both arms lift. Let's come back to downward facing dog. So it might be too early for your vinyasa, in which case stay with cat and cow, otherwise breathe your way forward into a plank. Pause there as you kick back, lengthen forward, feel your roots, firm up the legs, and then slowly lower to the earth. Breathing in, fill the heart with breath. Exhale, downward facing dog. Once again, connect to your roots, your hands, your feet. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, foot comes through, drop the right knee. Breathing in, arms lift up. Hold on to your right wrist, lean to the left. Breathe all the way down into the right side body. Inhale, we rise and we change. Right hand to hip, left arm leans to the side, and just deeply breathe. Inhale, both arms lift. Take a deep breath in all the way up to your fingertips and come through downward facing dog. In downward facing dog again, you might choose to stay, you might drop to your knees, or come through another vinyasa. Breathe your way forward. So when spring comes, there's a little lift and surge in energy. You might be feeling that today. Let's come back to downward facing dog. And take a full deep breath into your whole body. As you breathe out, so take your time with your feet. Don't hop just yet. Consciously, like you're taking a really slow walk, walk your feet forward, really using the whole sole of the foot. We tend to walk unevenly on our feet. And we force them in shoes, we walk on concrete, not natural states. As we come to a full world fold, take a moment to look at your feet and spread your toes as wide as you can. And this really strengthens the arches of our feet. Then take your big toes down only. Then lift up your big toes and take the other toes down. And our feet are shock absorbers for the knees and hips. So we want to have nice, big, wide feet. Spread your feet as wide as you can now. Feel your foundations. And from there, slowly bend the knees. Slowly, we come to rise. And as you come to rise, literally ground yourself. Feel into those feet. Aren't our feet amazing? Just breathe in and perhaps a moment of gratitude for them. So spring welcomes the light. Let's welcome the light now in our sun salutations. Inhale, we sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, we come to a forward fold. Inhale, we lengthen our spine. And then we step back with the right leg, then the left, to the top of a push-up. Breathe into your plank, lower to the earth. Breathing in all the way up. Exhale, downward facing dog. We are just going to change this a little bit now. Breathe in, right leg rises. Breathing out, right foot comes through. From there, come into grounded aeroplane. Lift up your left leg and gaze forward and just take 2 breaths. Feel your roots on that right leg. And drop the left foot down to meet the right. Breathe in halfway. Breathe out to fold. Soft bend in the knees. Let's come up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Same thing, round 2. Breathing in, arms lift. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, flat back. Step back left, then right to the top of a push-up. You can always miss these. Lower to the earth as you exhale. Inhale to rise. Downward facing dog. And connect to your roots again, the feet and the hands, and take 2 deep breaths. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot between the hands. Gaze forward and lift your right leg up. So it's pretty much parallel with the earth at this stage. Grounded aeroplane, take a breath. Right foot comes to meet the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet as you rise up. Root to rise, hands overhead. Hands to heart, closing your eyes, but keeping awareness in the feet. Now let's add on to our flow. Breathing in, we rise up. Breathing out, we fold. Breathing in, we come up halfway. Breathing out, downward facing dog. And just take a moment to root again. Feel each finger pad, feel each toe. And pressing very firmly into the left leg.
We let the right leg float up. Breathing in, right leg as high as you comfortably can. As breathe out, bring knee to nose. Inhale, right leg comes back again. Let's do that one more time, knee to nose. Once again, the right leg rises. And now step the foot between the hands. And as before, drop your left knee. Breathing in, we sweep up. This time we're coming into a twist. Let your left hand come forward and the right hand behind, wringing out the winter. Breathing in, arms overhead. Exhale, we twist. And do that one more time. Inhale, arms overhead. And we twist. And then lean back if you can. So the right hand comes to the thigh or the sacrum. And then consciously reach from left waist to left fingers. Deep breath. One more deep breath. Once again, lift those arms out wide. And now come to easy twist. Left hand down, right arm towards the sky. And do one of those circles again. Just clear your energy field. Just sweep the arm around. Make a nice noise as well, because there's something satisfying about that. Now, as you come into this twist, you might lift up your left knee. Can you take 3 very deep breaths? Feel the energy rising now. You might feel it in the right fingertips. One more breath. And then the right hand comes down and we come back to downward facing dog. And take a moment to ground yourself, to feel your hands and feet, and then come through your vinyasa. And here we are again in downward facing dog. So the knee to nose stuff you can also do from all fours, of course. Breathing in, left leg rises. Breathing out, knee to nose. Inhale, leg extends back. Once again, knee to nose. Pull your tummy in as you do that. Final time, inhale, leg extends. This time, the foot slips through. We drop the right knee. Breathing in, arms rise up. Exhale, twist. Inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, twist. Final time. And as we twist this time, do be careful with your back. You lean back. Left hand comes to the right thigh or to the lower back. Really lengthen that right side. And now can you breathe into that space that you're making there? Mindfully, we come forward. We take the right hand down. Lift the left arm up. Maybe you lift the right knee up. 3 very full expansive breaths all the way up to those left fingers. And then the left hand comes down. And once again, we may come through a vinyasa. We might hang around in down dog. We might take a rest in child's pose. Wherever you are, just inhabit it fully with a breath. So channel your inner Easter Bunny now as we lift up the heels, bend the knees. Just start to bounce the knees. So this is so good for the flow of lymph in the body. You might add little hops. I can feel my latte now, just in my stomach. And then drop into stillness and just feel everything moving through you now. You might find the heart rate has increased. Just come back to this really nice full grounding breath. Lift up your heels, look forward. This time we might do a little bunny jump to the front of the mat. Breathing flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. Closing your eyes. Again, ground yourself, feel your feet. And breathe into this moment now. So we're going to add on a little bit to our sequence. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, flat back. Let's step back to downward facing dog. Take a moment to land. Breathe in, rise up with the right leg. This time, right knee to nose as before. Breathe in, let's extend it back. Right knee to inner left elbow and just pause there for a breath. Inhale, right leg rises. Once again, let's step it between the hands. So this time we're coming up into a high lunge. So breathing in, float the arms all the way up to the sky. Same as side one ages ago. Hold on to the left wrist and lean to the right. Big breath in. Inhale to rise, left hand to hip, lean to the left. Breathe into the right. Inhale, arms lift up. Let's come into the twist we just did with our knee down. So the arms are wide, but this time you might come into a prayer twist, taking that left elbow to the right thigh. And as you do that, you press the left hand into the right hand and see if you can use your left hand to press into the right hand to help you twist. And this is a wonky one, so if you need to, drop your back knee and take 2 really full deep breaths. And slowly come up, and we're going to turn into star pose. So from that, face the opposite way of your mat with your arms wide open. And this is so symbolic of spring. It's open, it's expansive. Feel the energy moving through you. And spring equinox, of course, is on the wheel of the year. So let's find that wheel again. Can we lean to the right? And when you feel a pull in the left waist, really press into the left heel. Stretch that left side of the body. And then circle all the way down and up the other side. So getting to the left. And the spring, of course, is on the east of the wheel of the year. Take a breath. Now we're just going to do that on the other side, other direction. Lean to the side. All the way down. And then come up and take a huge breath in. And from there, we're going to turn into triangle pose. So turn the right foot forward. Perhaps you hop the back foot in. And breathe in as you lean towards the right foot. And then come into triangle pose. So the right hand goes towards the right ankle and we lift the left arm up. Feel like someone's ever so lightly picking you up by your left fingertips. So you might look up, take 3 deep breaths. And then look down to your right foot as you slowly lift yourself up. And we're going to come into reverse triangle now. So left hand comes down, right arm rises. Take a deep breath all the way down the right side of the body. And then come through your flow. Hands either side, stepping back, coming through your vinyasa or resting. So the pace is really picked up. Still stay with that grounded energy. Feel the feet, feel the hands, and breathe into your whole body. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left knee to nose. Inhale, leg extends back. Exhale, left knee to inner right elbow. Inhale, leg extends back. Step it through. High lunge, press into the feet. Sweep the arms up. And find stability here by pressing into your roots. Hold your right wrist. Lean to the left. Huge breath into the right waist. Inhale, rise up. Right hand to hip. Lean to the right this time. Breathing in, we lift up. And then we open our arms wide for a twist. And of course, you can stay here. Or you might bring the elbow across. And as the elbow comes across, the right hand presses into the left hand to help you turn your spine. Help you rotate the spine. 2 more breaths. And let's come up. Arms are out wide. So we're changing the direction as we come into that opening pose called star pose. Fingers spread. Draw your lower belly in. And turn that wheel of the year. So leaning to the left. So slowly. And then circle round. So you can notice where you feel your energy. I always feel mine in the fingers lately. So just notice where yours are. And then turn and change the direction of this perpetual wheel that spins. And they're the messages of nature, aren't they? That things always shift and change and die and get reborn. Huge breath in as you open your fingers. And more importantly, we need the dark as much as we need the light. So turning those hands down. Let's turn the left foot forward this time as we take triangle. So leaning as far forward as you can. And then you take the hands down. So think about your roots here, the feet. Make sure they're both very evenly pressing in. And then we lift up with our right fingers. And we take 3 deep breaths.
then press into your feet. Lift yourself up and tilt back. Deep, deep breath in. And let's come through the flow. So we've got one more round to go. We are going to add on, of course. But these are the basic patterns that you might stay with. Coming back to downward facing dog. So I'm going to change directions now to face the camera because we are going to do a pose now called fallen triangle. It might be new to you. So as you breathe in, take the right leg up. As you breathe out, take the right knee to the inner left elbow. Now you might stay here or straighten your right leg. So you press the hard edge of the right foot on the floor and then see if you can lift up your left arm. So it is a strange shape. So breathing in as you lift up the waist. And you might be wobbly, you might be shaky. Take one more breath, really spread those left fingers. So now the transition, left hand comes down, right leg lifts up. And very hard to do that graceful. Let's step that right foot forward and sweep ourselves up to a high lunge. So the energy is really pulsing now. Reach into your fingers and let's straighten the right leg here and then dip down. Getting everything moving. Inhale, we straighten. Exhale, we dip. Inhale, we straighten. Exhale, we dip. Take a deep breath in. Same thing. Hold left wrist, lean to the right. Deep breath. Let's come up to stand. Left hand to hip. Right arm comes up and overhead. Come up to stand. Open arm twist. Go really wide. Option again, either to take the prayer twist, which we just did, or maybe this time you open the arms out wide. So left arm is inside, but it's almost like you've got a great big pair of wings. That can be strong for the shoulders, so make sure it serves you. Take a breath. And then let's come all the way back into star pose. So once again, we're facing the opposite direction. Spread those fingers wide. But this time we come to a forward fold. And as we come to the forward fold, let the head be heavy and weighty. Give it a little shake. And once again, connect to your roots, your feet. And breathe in. So we're going to do this only on one side. Take your left hand underneath your face. As you breathe in, open that right arm towards the sky. As you breathe out, right wrist comes behind left wrist. Inhale, arm opens. Exhale, wrist behind wrist. One more time. Inhale, the arm opens. And this time, the right hand comes to the outside of the left leg. Then we lift up the left arm and we breathe. So spring is really a time of twisting and wringing it all out. Let the left hand come back down. Give the head a little shake and slowly come up. Pause halfway. All the way up to stand. Feel the energy settling at the top. Take a breath. And then the right foot comes forward. So again, same as we've just done. Breathing in, we're going to come into triangle. Lengthen forward. Right hand comes down. 2 breaths in triangle. So know that you can always stay here. Or we breathe our way up. We come into reverse triangle. Reach into your right fingers. And now we add a half moon balance. So coming forward, and always I think quite good to use a brick for this, or a book, or a pet. Lift up the left leg. So same as triangle, but with the leg lifted. We turn the toes. So lifting our arm is more tricky. There's more surface area to lift. So if you're not feeling balanced today, keep the hand down. Otherwise lift it up, and you might look up at your thumb. And this, again, is like spring. It's open, it's expansive, it's taking up space. Just breathe into this space. And very gently, we land. And again, we come through our vinyasa. So final side to go. Steadily moving with breath. And pause in downward facing dog. And breathe. Remember, this practice is about being present, being in our bodies, not doing this pose or that pose.
So notice your thoughts. Are they flowers that you're planting right now or weeds? Breathing in, the left leg rises. Breathing out, left knee comes to right elbow. Maybe that foot comes through. And root down into the hard edge of that left foot if that's the case, as you then lift up the right arm. The pose we call fallen triangle. Not easy. Find how strong you are. So watch your transition. The right hand comes down and gracefully left leg comes back. Maybe it's not graceful. Who cares? Take a breath. And step the left foot forward. Breathing in, we unravel to our high lunge. We reach into the fingers and then we're just moving the energy. So lifting up, lifting down. There's a nice quote I heard recently: movement is medicine. Letting it all go. And once again, right wrist. We come back to center. We swap it over. Right hand to hip. Left arm comes up and over. Back to our lunge. Option 1, open arm twist. Option 2, a prayer twist. Option 3, we open our wings and we breathe. And then we sweep up into a star. Spread those fingers wide, lift the heart, root down into your feet and feel the energy moving through you. And breathe into this sweet moment now. And then we come to a fold. And the forward fold is like a little remembrance of winter. It's time to turn in, time to slow down, time to reset. And Paul Theroux said winter is a time of recovery and preparation. Technically, we're still there. So we're going to take the right hand underneath our face now. And as we inhale, we're going to lift up the left arm. As we exhale, left wrist behind right wrist. Inhale, we open. Exhale, wrist behind wrist. Final time, inhale, we open. We stay there this time. Inhale. And now we feed the left arm all the way underneath. So it's the outside of the right leg. And then we lift up the right arm. So much deeper twist. And take 3 deep breaths. Come back to that forward fold. Give the head a little shake. And slowly, slowly, let's lift up. Pause at the top. Close your eyes. Feel your roots. Just press into your feet. And that can be so useful if we find ourselves spinning. And then turn the left foot forward. So a very brief triangle pose. Left foot forward, arms out wide. Let's tip into triangle. And now let's breathe our way back up into reverse triangle. And then we cartwheel into half moon. So left fingers down, right leg lifts. Breathing in and breathing out. And just take up space. So again, looking up makes it slightly harder. Some days we can, some days we can't. And no day should we make it important. Just a few breaths. And let's come through. Final vinyasa now. We're all going to meet in downward facing dog. Bring all the way back. Let's flow through. And come back to downward facing dog. And for the last time today, let's notice everything that's grounding you. The hands, the feet. And just let your awareness drop into those 4 spots. Take a really full breath into the whole body. Lift up your heels and step up towards the front of the mat. So we're going to stay down for this now. We are going to come into a standing split. So earlier we did a grounded aeroplane. So if you remember, which we're going to do now, we lifted up the left leg. So level with the hip is a grounded aeroplane. If you can lift that leg higher and start to bow towards the right leg, that is your standing split. So again, we're really in our roots now. So you might keep your fingers on the floor, especially if you've not done this before. Or you might hold on to your right ankle with the right hand. And then you might hold on to your right ankle with your left hand as well. And just keep breathing. It's not always easy, but feel those roots, that right leg. And then we take it down. And that's quite an intense one. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Sway a little bit. You might have noticed that you stop breathing. Let's do the other side. Lift up the left leg. That might be enough. Level with the hip. Or you might, sorry, lift up the right leg. You might lift it higher. Hold on to your left ankle, perhaps. But really take your time. And let's drop. And then with your hands, just give your hamstrings a little rub. We never get to our deathbed wishing they were different, but sometimes we do in the moment. So just giving thanks to them, rubbing around the backs, the calves, all the way down to your ankles. And then just take your fingers in front of you, lift up your heels, heels together, toes wide, coming into a sort of variation of a squat. So the heels are lifted, and then we're just bowing. So bringing your head towards the hands, breathing in and breathing out as we curl up into a little seed. And then very slowly, we're coming down. Let's bring those knees in towards our chest. And as the toes come together, we're just going to press the knees away from you. So we're doing a really big circle outwards. And just do 2 or 3 of these. Just moving into the body. Easing out the hips and back. And then just as you've got those little circles going one way, let's change them. Let's confuse things. And bring the feet flat. So we're going to do one active back bend, and then we're going to start to do some longer holds and restoratives. So press into your feet, lift up your hips, and you might support your lower back with your hands, as I'm doing here. Whatever you want to do, you might want to raise a leg, and then the opposite leg. When we do this, it creates stronger supporting muscles, so pelvic floor and hips. You might choose to stay in a stiller bridge. Just do what feels your true expression today. And wherever you are, take about 4 to 5 more deep breaths. And then very slowly come all the way down. And as your hips land, take one hand to your heart, one hand to your tummy. And again, use hands as a way to ground yourself. So we're going to come into a hold, a back bend that we hold now. So we will need something underneath our lower back. So I would suggest a brick if you have one, a book, good literature, or you might have a bolster. So whatever we do, we're planting a brick under the triangular bone at the base of the spine called the sacrum. So you can have your arms overhead. That's going to stimulate the heart meridian a little bit more. Or just rest the hands on your hip points. Allow your eyes to close and drop into the stillness. This is going to be a 2-minute hold. And sometimes that can feel like a long time. It's only really 12 breaths. Can you come back to Samavriti, that nice, equal, balanced breath? And coming back to that earlier quote, your mind is a garden, your thoughts are the seeds. You can plant flowers or you can grow weeds. Notice when we're not conscious where the mind takes us to. Because ultimately, yoga teaches us that we can develop a new set of thoughts if we want, or we can choose not to listen to our existing thoughts. Because quite often they're a load of old rubbish and they're often very judgy.
One more minute left just to notice what you're planting in the garden of the mind. Notice where your mind is, just a few more breaths. And now take 3 more deep breaths. Let them get a little deeper each time. Finishing with a long, releasing, sighing breath out. And that's a message to our nervous system that we're switched off. We're letting go. And then do remove the brick or the bolster from beneath your lower back very slowly. After that, we're going to come into a hip stretch now. So we're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana, the butterfly. So taking the feet together and knees wide. We're going to be here for about a minute. So I always like to use something underneath my thighs just so it's not too strong a stretch. Again, you might rest your hands on your hip points or possibly over your head. Keep the chin tucked. And when the hands are resting on you, actually can come onto your tummy as well because you're really guiding the breath there then. So slow it all down. And the butterfly, of course, is almost like symbolic of the spring, isn't it? Because of transformation. There's a quote from Maya Angelou: "We delight in the beauty of the butterfly, but rarely admit the changes it has gone through to achieve that beauty." So kind of celebrating whatever you've learned in the winter, whatever lessons you had. Not always the ones we perhaps would choose, but they all do contribute to our transformation and re-emergence in the spring. So softening the breath, softening your face, just focusing on breath in body, nothing else. So spring equinox is on the wheel of the year, which is based on the sacred turning of seasons. The very ancient calendar, which invites us to live slowly and seasonally. We've often lost our connection to nature as we work in offices that are artificially lit all the time. We don't kind of tap into that innate wisdom quite easily that we get from nature. And as Lao Tzu reminds us, nature doesn't hurry, but everything gets accomplished. So just taking about 3 more deep breaths here in this shape. And we'll finish with a sighing breath out. And very simply from here, we're going to change it into a twist. So perhaps removing the bricks from beneath your thighs, lift up your left knee and just bring it over to rest on top of the right. Now, knees below the lower back is a little bit more of a stretch for the lower back. Knees higher than the waist is kind of going to bring the twist up a little higher in the spine. So you see where you need to go. Take those arms into a cactus shape and look over towards your left. And just be here for 6 full, deep, spacious breaths. And spring, of course, is about creating space, letting go of the old stuff for the new. So just notice as you breathe the space that you're creating in your body as we take these shapes. And then move into that space with the breath.
And then very slowly, let's change sides. So the knees come over to the left. Perhaps wiggle the hips a little bit to the right if there's any pulling there. Otherwise, it's okay to stretch the back and then look over to the right and breathe. 6 full deep breaths. Notice the thoughts again. Are they in the territory of flowers or weeds? Just notice without being judgy of yourself. What we do here is check in with ourselves. We might not know what's going on, so it's really important to notice, even if it's not what we want to be there. And let's come on to our back. And just like the time of year we're in now, let's shake off anything that's stuck and left over. Shake the fingers, shake the feet, maybe shake your head. Feel that energy. And then slowly from there, let's drop into our Shavasana. So you're easing yourself down, being held by Mother Earth. So celebrating the return of the light. And that's what this festival is all about, our rebirth. And Shavasana is a pose that means corpse pose. We don't die at the end of our yoga practice. But the idea is we are reborn. We emerge with new energy, new cells, a new vibration, almost like we're being born again. So come to lie flat, allow the feet, your roots, your legs to be very heavy and weighted. And we might not always feel great and full of light, but of course know that that's all part of our process. We cannot have the light without the dark. And there's a little quote from William Sieghart: our minds are amazing, quick blooming things. We have the ability, if we believe it enough, to give ourselves a push that will eventually spill out of any period of stagnation, grief, or depression. One day we may notice the tiniest of buds at the tip of one of our frost-bitten branches. Before we know, we are green and vibrant once more. So wherever you are today, allow yourself to be held here now as you stop. And feel the breath almost like the light coming in through the crown of the head. And let this light cleanse and wash away all tension in the face. And let this light now find its way to the heart, where it always is. And feel a sense of expansion there beneath your breastbone. And let this light rise up from the heart, washing over the shoulder heads, all the way down the arms to the fingertips. Let this light move into your tummy, to your hips, to your thighs, to your calves and your feet, cleansing away all tension from your roots. And now let this light surround you like your own little energy field. And visualize you're in this little light bubble, keeping you safe, warm, protected. And just bathe in your light now for a minute or so more, breathing into your whole body.
And start to make your breathing slightly deeper now. And you might choose to stay here longer. If you have just carved out this set amount of time, slowly bring movement and life, rebirth to the joints. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. You might move your head side to side. And perhaps you want to yawn your body awake again as you take an overhead stretch. Notice how you feel now as we conclude this spring equinox practice. Where you are beginning again, and let's just really slowly come up to a seat. And as always, it's so lovely to see you, to be here with you. Let's spread our fingers wide. Let's sweep them all the way up to the sky, taking a deep breath in. And as we exhale, bring the hands to the heart. Namaste. Thank you.